I put the phone down and I was like, I'm not going to speak to that person again. I'm just remembering how alone I felt, and I just wanted to get out of there. So I'm 35, and it's been nearly 3 years now since I've gone no contact with my narcissistic parents, and it's not been easy. And we're going to discuss today my journey to peace. As the title says, if you've got here, you've clicked to the title because it may be relatable in some way to you guys as well. I know it's not a topic that is often discussed, and I think it should be, because there's a lot of us out there that are in no contact with our narcissistic parents or are trying to make that decision. And if you're in no contact or you're trying to make that decision, then I guess this will be such a good video for you to relate to, hopefully. And so yeah, should I just get into it really? So I don't really know where to start with this. Going no contact is not easy at all. And I'm going to start off with just not wanting to get to this point, because I'm telling you, no child really wants to go no contact with their parents. This is a last resort. This is not something that I necessarily wanted. This was, I had to choose this for my own peace. But if I could have it another way, I wish it would be another way and could be another way, but it can't be another way. And you have to understand, with narcissistic parents, no contact is the only way. And I truly believe that, based on my own experience of trying to go back and forth, and it just does not work. I mean, for me, it hasn't worked, so I can only talk about that. But obviously, if you've got experiences going back and forth with no contact, please share your journey below. But so yeah, the confusion for me, I want to start with the confusion of, shall I go no contact? And what led me to go no contact, because there is usually a significant moment, a point where you're just like, no, this is too far. I cannot be in contact with this person. And for me, it was being in lockdown during the pandemic in a very tiny 1-bedroom flat, very small, very cramped, with literally nowhere to go. And it was a real struggle living in that environment every single day. It was tough. I did my best. I did my best to cope with it. I didn't engage in arguments. I avoided as much communication as possible within those times. But, you know, the outbursts, I have never seen someone's outbursts as worse as I saw them during that lockdown. I saw the sabotage go 10 times X. Like, you know, I was trying to find a job during the pandemic. She would purposely come in and walk across during an interview and just purposely slam the door because she was having a bad morning. And I told her, I've got an interview, please. Like, I even tried to give money to go and get coffee just to get out of the way. Do you know what I mean? Just so I knew that I had that hour. And it was like she purposely was just lingering around and just have a moment, just perfectly slam the door right in the moment I was on the interview. And it was just little moments, couldn't handle being on lockdown. You know, it's not for everyone, you know. And it wasn't for me. It wasn't a home, you know, when this is my house, slam the door, boom, oh. And it's just no, this is not a house. This is jail. I want to leave. This literally is the worst and the worst. And any of you that have been living with your narcissistic parents during lockdown, I can guarantee you, this was the worst. And if you're still just here and you've been through that experience, I'm so proud of you, because it's a very difficult one. And yeah, so it was just dealing with that during the pandemic, then expecting me to do what I can, trying to get out of that situation find a job without being sabotaged. I was trying to do it. I even joined a coding class, I was just trying to do anything to better my skills so I could to get into another job, because obviously I lost my job, and like I'm sure most people did, and I was on furlough for a little bit, but that can only take you so far. And then I was just trying to find another job, and it was just like just dealing with all her kind of issues on top of that. It just got to a point, and it was just getting out of control, really. It was just every day it was something I had to fix for her. Like, I was her therapist. I was the one that had to fix her. Like, there's only so much that you can take, and then it's like, I don't know how to deal with this behavior. I literally am not a doctor. I don't know how to deal with this behavior. I tried my best. To her to try and see the positive thing. I tried my best to tiptoe around her. I tried my best. And I just, the other day, I just looked at pictures of myself. I was so skinny, and I could see the drained look of my face. Like, I could just see it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I questioned, how am I gonna get out of this? Like, I was in the, like, I'm gonna cry because I've done my makeup. Anyway, can't post this. Breathe in. Breathe out. No, I'm just remembering just how alone I felt. And I just wanted to get out of there. And, it's not... if you've never grown up with a narcissistic parent, I'm trying to relay how... if you've never grown up with a narcissistic parent, you don't understand, how painful it can be and how lonely you feel. This is why I started doing these videos. I felt so lonely. I literally, sometimes I'd no one talk about this with, who's gonna understand me? Even this topic right now, right? It's who's gonna, this topic right now, people don't discuss it. People don't really want to share it, because it's the people that have not grown up in narcissistic families will not get this. They won't understand why you've gone no contact. The people that have not grown up in narcissistic families will not get this. They won't understand why you've gone no contact. Anyway, let me fast forward. So I felt so alone. I literally was broken, and I managed to find a way out, and I'll come to that on another story. But I decided, I managed to get a job. I had literally enough savings. I literally did what my own advice was in the last video, and I moved in silence. Okay, I did not tell her I had a tiny bit of deposit. I literally just had enough deposit to put down for my rent, okay, and 1 month's rent. Now, I do not advise this, by the way. I advise to have more than a month's rent, but I was pretty much desperate at this point, and I just knew I couldn't. So managed to find a little studio place. I'm in my little studio flat. It's very small, but it gives me peace. And I just had 1 month there, and luckily it's kind of worked out, and along the way. But so I was here. I'm no longer there now. So then she drops me off, because it was during the end of the pandemic, she drops me off. And then she came in, she goes, "Oh, this is small, you can't live here, da, 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 da," all that. And then, I was even questioning myself, maybe I shouldn't, this is a very small place, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward anyway. I then, still in contact, so in the sense of, and then I think I wasn't in contact for like a week or whatever it is. I was just sorting this out. So happy, so relieved I got here. I was like, couldn't believe it. I woke up and it was peaceful, and you do need to get used to that peace. It's going to sound very weird, but you have to get comfortable and used to not hearing chaos. Like the first few days when I was just living here, I was like, where is the chaos? Like, where's the shouting at 6 a.m. in the morning? You know, my heart is like, where's my heart's racing, my nervous system's out of whack. Like, what's going on? Like, what am I walking down to? What am I waking up to? Is it going to be like a really crazy day, or is it going to be like a mid crazy day, or is it going to be like super crazy day? Like, you know, I didn't know what kind of day it was, but you know, when you're in your own place, it's just like, whoa, and you have to get used to that. I'll come to that on another thing. If you understand what, and you can relate to that, you know what I mean. But so then I called her. I was like, all here, like, yeah, I'm kind of happy that I'm here. And it was just like, oh, this Bill person did this and this and this and this. And it was just, I was so happy, right? And it was just, like, I did this by myself. I was so happy. And it was just like, just negativity coming out. It's just like constant. It was like boom, 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 just nothing. Not, oh, congratulations, you're in your own place. You know, the amount of times I heard, this is my house, you can get out if you want to, this is my house. And so, this is my house. Oh, sorry, it's like actually like that voice. So, this is my house. Oh, sorry, it's like actually like that voice. Yeah, so it's like, okay, well, I'm out, okay, and it's like, well done, you know, something. No, it was just me, all the problems in her life, and it was going again, and here we go, and it just doesn't stop. And I thought to myself, nope, no, I am not bringing this energy into this place. I moved far away. I'm not in the same city as you. I moved away. I am not starting my new life like this, you know. And at this point I was 32, 33. Well, it's been nearly 3 years now, so I'm 35 now, so yeah, so 32, whatever. And it's like, I'm not doing this. I was like, I'm running out of time. I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to catch up with my peers, people my age, and you know, and it's, I know you shouldn't really compare yourself, but you know, you are constantly trying to catch up, and I just didn't want that for the new phase of my life. I was like, no, I've made a decision. I've spent so much time in the pandemic and those days being silent, not saying anything, tiptoeing, just doing everything I can, moving in silence every day, putting my headphones on, listening to really positive things like Joe Dispenza, Earl Nightingale, just anything about this topic as well, psychology, human behavior. I'll be learning, I'll be listening, I'll be reprogramming my mind, listening to affirmations. I literally would do that every single day. Thank God to AirPods, you know, thank you, because you literally saved a lot of noise going into my mind. And it really helped me. And so when I was here, I was in this kind of phase of like, you know, I've got this. I'm building myself up. Like, I've really been affirming, reprogramming my mind. And it's like, okay, we're not doing this. We're not doing this cycle again. No, it's not happening. Do you know what I mean? My people, my community, the people that come from narcissistic families, they know what I mean when I say we're not doing this again, this cycle. No. It's done. It's over. Like, we can't take any more. And there is a point that comes, I don't know what it is, it can be, and you just look at yourself and you're like, I cannot do this. I need to get out of this. And once you're out of there, you realize like the peace that you get. You're like, no, I'm not doing this cycle again. So anyway, so I was here, I was happy, it started again, and I put the phone down. And I was like, I'm not going to speak to that person again. This person, regardless if they're your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, whatever it is, If that person is causing you to feel, person is having a negative impact on your life, a significant negative impact on your life, then there comes a point where you have to decide to remove that person. And the people that don't come from narcissistic families growing up, they will do this. But it's your mum, but it's your dad, but it's, your blood, that's who, that's where, you were born, that's your mother. You can't do that. Yes, you can. Anyone out there right now that is going through this, has come from a narcissist family and is deciding to go no contact, you can make the choice. You can choose yourself over negativity. And when I say you choose yourself and you choose your peace will come sometimes with pain, okay? And the pain sometimes will feel like guilt. And you can't let others that haven't been through this experience and will never ever understand the depth of this goes to tell you, you can't do that. You can. I'm from someone that's come from a narcissistic, mother and grown up like that. I know a lot of you from the last video can totally to relate to, and that's why I call you my people, my community, and I'm so happy you're here because I finally got my people that understand this, and it's like, finally, I've got the ones that get it, and and it's actually quite almost to the point. It's like when you have gone no contact and someone says that's like, well, you don't understand. It's like you almost wanted to tell them you don't understand, and it's like, oh, there's no point. There's just no point. But just know, if you want to go no contact, don't let any other person make you feel bad because they are your family, okay? If it was someone else, a friend, and they were talking to you like that, a husband or wife, you would advise your friend, I would really reevaluate that relationship. I can see, this is not good for you. But no, when it comes to your parents, apparently it's just a different case. And I just think people need to understand that it's absolutely fine if they're not giving you your peace and actually causing a significant amount of distress, not only on your mind and your soul, but on your nervous system. My nervous system was so out of order when I was there, And I'm sure a lot of you know what I mean by that. Heart racing, anxious, anxiety, all these things, anxious. And that's a whole nother video. But you know what I mean. So if that's happening to you, this is not normal. It's not normal for you to wake up every day and your nervous system not feeling right. It's not normal for you to wake up every day and not knowing what you're going to get. It's not normal every day for someone to be negative. This is not good for you. It's not good for your soul. And if that's from a parent and then they're not giving you peace and you get more peace by not contacting them, then do that. And I put a very strong stance on that because I've experienced it, I've gone through it, and I've come out the other end in the sense of I've been in no contact, and I can guarantee you're going to get a lot more peace. So, yeah, I put the phone down, and that was it. I was done, and I haven't spoken to her since, and that was nearly 3 years ago, and that was it. Done. Now, and I was a bit like, should I go no contact? Should I? And it's not been an easy thing. It's like, I've been thinking about this longer than 10 years, like going through many different phases of my life, not wanting to, but there's just something that keeps pulling me, to go back and, feeling so bad. Like, it's not until I started learning and researching this stuff and learning more about, my own growth and my own peace. And, then I realized actually, I'm actually limiting myself, my growth, my peace, because I'm putting so much into someone else. I'm actually forgetting about myself. And that person doesn't care about you. So, and they're your mother, they're your father. And that's the unfortunate thing. And I know you guys get it. I know the real ones that been through this will understand this. So that was it. No contact. 3 years later now, I'm going to tell you, when you go no contact, it's not going to be roses. and peace and wow, that's it. No, it's not. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be truthful. I'm not going to make out that this is going to be an easy thing. No, it's one of the hardest things of my life. You know, as I said before, no one wants to go no contact with their parents. It's not natural to want to have that, you know. But, you know, there comes a point where you realize there's no other option. There is no other option but to go no contact. And so it's not going to be easy, and it's not easy. The first part is really hard. I'm going to tell you, there's many days when I went first no contact. I'd even say like the first year, I'm not even going to lie. And I still even have days now. So it never really stops, but it gets better over time. But the first part of when you go no contact, you will feel an extreme amount of aloneness. Like some things just like, that's it. You're alone. You're really alone. Even though you were always alone in that, you're really by yourself now. And it's hard. There's many days you're going to cry. There's many days you're going to feel like, have I made the right decision? There's many days you're going to feel very guilty. Extremely guilty. I felt so guilty. And there's just gonna be a mixture of confusion. And then when the guilt comes in, it's like, should I call them? You know, and then you have your weak moments. Shall I? And so I think the saddest part about it all is that you're going to be grieving for a parent that you wish you had, that was never really a parent to you, but is also still alive. So you're grieving for your narcissistic parent that's alive. You're also grieving for the parent you wish they could have been, but never were. And you're also grieving for the hope for that person. I honestly think, because that's how I felt. I was grieving for the possibility of this person could be better. I could, if I just stayed a little bit, maybe I could help them a bit more. No, you can't. You can't. It will never change. They will always be this way. And that is it. And I think once you go no contact, and then, you know, because when you go no contact, you'll go into your own world of like, even more, I hope you take this path of, I'm going to become even a better soul, a better person, a more peaceful person, okay? But yeah, it is, it's not easy, it's not easy at all. And you're going to have really bad days, and you're going to have good days. You're like, the relief, but you're going to have bad days. You might even be like, where's the chaos gone? Where's what's going on? It just takes some used to. It's going to be a complete different life that you're used to. And I used to think, wow, this is how people live. You know, now I've got to the point, I'm like, wake up, I'm like, wow, it's so nice. I even do it now. Like, I'm so grateful I just get to wake up in peace. You know, it's just, I'm so happy I get to wake up in peace. And like, just wake up knowing what I'm going to get from the day, knowing what energy I'm going to give out there in the environment, in this place I'm living. And but yeah, not only will you be grieving for the possibility of that person, just the mother or your father that's still alive, and knowing that you can't really be in contact with this person because they put so much stress into your life. And but you're also not just grieving that, you actually lose a lot more. You lose the extended family members that okay, so you lose the extended family members as well. Because unfortunately, the sad reality is that you are, by going no contact, you have to understand that by going no contact, you may need to cut off other family members as well, because their relationship, for instance, if you've got siblings or I don't know, aunts, whatever it is that you have, other family members, they may have not experienced the same amount of, I don't know, narcissistic hell that you've been through, but they may have had a different experience. And that is often quite the case with siblings as well. There's a good one, there's an invisible one, and there's a scapegoat, and if you're the one that's been targeted the most, your experience may be very different. And unfortunately, they may not see the perspective and the viewpoint and the harsh take. Maybe they see it as a harsh take by going no contact, but maybe they don't feel they need to do that. But unfortunately, when you go no contact, and then you have maybe siblings or things, and then you want to be in contact with them, they'll start talking to you about this and about that and relaying information back and forth. Again, this is not going to be healthy. This is not going to be good for you when you've made that decision to go no contact. And unfortunately, we lose a lot more than just going no contact with that narcissist parent. We lose everything in the sense of those connections and family ties. So when anyone says to you, "Oh, but you should speak to your mother and father," do you really think this is a choice that we wanted to make? Do you really think we wanted to get to this point? No. It's taken a lot for someone to get to this point, to go no contact with their parents. We're not just doing it for the fun of it, it's like, okay, oh yeah, they did this and no, it's not a little they did this, they said some negative things, so I'm not going to speak to them again. No, this is deep. This is deep manipulation, deep loss of self-worth. This is your whole identity of who you can become, trying to be stripped away from you, from the very person that is meant to give you that identity, to make you feel like you can accomplish anything. They're not there to make you feel like I'll hold your hand to do everything for you. But no, they are the foundation blocks of you gaining that self-worth, that confidence, that these things. Because when your mind is not fully developed when you're a child, they imprint this into you when you're early on. And if you never were given that, you never were given those tools, those things, then yes, it makes your life, even in adulthood, a catching up game. You're constantly catching up with life. And yeah. And then you realize, I need to parent myself. I need to parent myself, because I was not really given that parenting class. I wasn't given a parent in a sense of their role as a parent. Yes, they birthed me. Yes, we have the same genetics. Yes, we have these things in common. But if they are causing an impact in your life which doesn't allow you to flourish or fly or be free or succeed or accomplish your dreams or to be bigger than, or to just go out and do what you want, you don't need this person in your life. And a narcissistic parent, they don't want that for you. I'm going to be honest. They do not want to see you do better than them. They do not want you to succeed. They do not want you to do better. So you just have to grieve them. You have to grieve that parent. You have to just say bye to it. And, like any grief, it takes time, and with time you will heal. And that's what happened to me. At first, it was very difficult, a lot of tears, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of what can I do better? But after that, it gets better. It gets way better. So I also want to talk about the guilt that you feel when you go no contact. So it's a very weird one, because you go no contact and then you have moments where you feel extremely guilty. Like you feel like the worst person in the world. Anyone that's gone no contact, I can guarantee you've experienced this as well. If you've come from a narcissistic parents and you've gone no contact, there's times you're just like, you feel like the worst human being possible. You feel like, I can't do this to them. Like, I still feel bad, like, but I know I can't get wrapped into that again. I'm not doing that. No, you can't have that little voice in your head going, pulling on the heartstrings, because you've seen it your whole life. Nothing's changed. Why is it going to change at this time? Nothing's changed. You've seen it go back and forth over and over again, and nothing's changed, So, there's a saying, you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same results. So, it's like, you got to understand, this narcissistic person is never going to change their colours. And actually, I only saw it get worse as she got older, to be honest. I feel like it's got worse. I don't know, guys, is that a thing? Like, when your parents get older, I thought it would have calmed down. I thought, okay, they get older, they would have calmed down a bit, but no, it just doesn't stop. So unfortunately, it's like, yeah, you feel guilty, but you got to understand at the back of your mind, you got to remember when you've got no contact, that guilt, you got to understand, they will never change. They will never change. And you've got to, when you feel guilty, you got to remember, did they feel guilty when they sabotaged me? Did they feel guilty when you were trying to do something? And no, they didn't feel guilty. But at the same time, I don't want you to be revengeful, resentful, but I want you to remember there is no empathy from them. There is no thought process for you. And when you go no contact, you've made that decision. You're choosing yourself. And, a lot of people that go no contact, I rarely find that it's like, oh, you're 18, you're 19, you've gone no contact. It's usually like, 30s and upwards that you've decided, finally, I'm going to go no contact. I mean, if you've gone no contact in your 20s, then you've obviously more self-aware maybe than I am, but it took me to like 33. I don't know, guys, tell me, how old are you when you went no contact? Let me know, because I find that it can take a while for someone to go no contact. So yeah, that guilt, don't delve too much into that guilt. Just move on to positive things. Move on. You got to remember, this person does not care. They will never care the way you want them to care, like how you want a mother and a father to be. I'm so sorry for it to say it like that, but it's the truth. I had to come to that realization that they never will truly care that much. So this guilt feeling you're feeling is partly, because you're a kind human being and you hope to have a parent around you, and it's just a normal thing as a child to want their parents to love them in the way that you feel like a parent should love you. So you do feel guilty for that. You also, have an understanding this person's clearly broken in a way. You're empathic, you're human, you have a heart. But there comes a point you have to choose yourself. And you just got to understand that. Because if no one's going to tell you, I'll tell you. Just based from experience. Choose yourself. And the no contact thing. Should I be in contact? No contact. I tried the no contact, every now and then, touch points. I personally couldn't do it. When I was trying to go in contact, I found it extremely stressful. And actually, when you live away, when you've moved out and you've got no contact, and then you're trying to keep that connection, keep that contact going, I found that anytime I went back into contact with that person, say I was on the phone to them, or, whatever it was that they needed, or this or whatever, I found it extremely stressful. Like, I would have a very good day, I'd come off the phone, and my whole day was ruined because some dramatic thing had happened, and shifted my whole vibration, my whole mood that I've worked so hard on to not be around. And it's just like going backwards again. It's like backwards and backwards. So every time you're in contact with that person, they're pulling you backwards, always, because they're always manipulating you. They're always doing something, gaslighting, blaming. There's always some kind of, and they don't even realize they're consciously, on a conscious level, they don't even realize they're doing it. It's so ingrained into their subconscious that this is the only way they know how to exhibit behavior. So it's going to be a very long journey for them to unwire and reprogram their behavior. And actually, a lot of them won't even reprogram their behavior because they don't think they're doing anything wrong. And this is clearly what a narcissist person is like. They don't realize they're even behaving like this. There's no self-reflection. There's no guilt. There's no apology. There's no self-awareness. There's no self-reflection. And they will never self-reflect because that means they will have to uncover some very deep wounds that they are trying to run away from every single step of the way. And literally just shift it onto you, project onto you. And so they will never go to therapy. I tried. They will never, you've tried to get into therapy. You've tried, never. It will never happen. And even when they're in therapy, it wouldn't even go well with the therapist probably. They'll say something, I don't know. If anyone's managed to get their parent to therapy, I can't imagine it going very well in that, there'll be some kind of blame or something. There's no accountability on any part, so I think the only way is no contact, to be honest. I honestly think that is the only way you're going to get your peace. Actually, I don't think, I know that's the only way you're going to get your peace, because since I've been no contact, I've been the most peaceful person that I have been in my whole life. I'm not going to say that every day is like, perfect, but what I'm going to say is that I've literally never felt so much peace than I have while stepping away from that person. Anytime I'm around that person, anytime I've been around that person, I've been in chaos. I've been in, I don't look well. I didn't look well. I looked drained, and once you're away, you'll see. Once you've got over the grief and of that possibility of a parent, and you've gone through, and then you go to the next stage of just learning a bit more about yourself, spending time with yourself, and then getting yourself more positive and learning about different things and just doing the things that you like, you'll realize the peace you have. There's so much peace you will get from going no contact. Just get through that first bit, get through the confusion and grief, and then the light. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and I can guarantee you'll be in so much more peace. It will show in your face, it will show in your body, it will show in your nervous system. Like, you will feel calmer. You won't be anxious all the time. You won't be, stressed out, depleted of energy. You will be able to do the things that you want to do. You will be able to go the places you want to go. You'll be able to save the money that you want to save. You'll be able to explore anything you want to explore. And you have to learn this. When I say this part, you have to learn to celebrate yourself. You have to learn to validate yourself. You have to learn that external validation, whatever people says, is not going to help you in this situation, because you got to understand that you are a little bit alone in this when you go no contact. And so you have to build yourself up, parent yourself a little bit. You're going to have to. You have to build yourself up, and that's kind of hard as well. But it's kind of therapeutic and so healing at the same time. And you can see yourself. You will see yourself just getting better and better. And you'll be like, wow, I've got so much better in this short period of time than I have in my whole life. And you honestly will. You will start like, you will feel yourself just becoming a peaceful person. And you'll be that person. You will become that person. Like, wow, she's so peaceful. Sometimes people will look at me and they think I've never been through anything in my life. Because they look at me and they think, oh, you got your makeup on. Oh, you like your fashion. Oh, I bet she comes from this or this. And they think, no. I've been through some stuff, But you know what I didn't do? I didn't get bitter. Don't get bitter. You don't get revenge. You don't do any of that. Because that, again, is negative. We're not attaching ourselves to negative thought, to negative actions. What you think about comes about. What you do brings about, okay? So you need to think, who is that person I want to be? Think about it right now. Who is that person you want to be? Do you want to be acting like the person you're trying to run away from? You want to become your mother? You want to become, we don't want that. Oh, you're just like your mother. You're just like your father. No, thank you. I don't want that in my realm of energy. No. Who do you want to become? You want to become that peaceful person? Do you want to become one day when you can, you want to become that peaceful person? You want to become that person? You want to become that energy where, you just know yourself. This is who you are. Doesn't matter what you say to me. This is who I am. And you will learn that. And it's so freeing when you get to that level of peace where, because you know yourself, and you've actually literally forced to spend time with yourself when you go no contact, that you're forced to look at the worst parts of yourself and then the best parts, And I had to do a lot of reprogramming, unprogramming, behaviors that you will pick up just because you lived with that person naturally. And I have to catch myself. You need to catch yourself. Please, this is very important. When you find yourself doing a negative behavior that has been brought on by your parent, please try and catch yourself. Just hear my voice and catch yourself. When you recognize you're doing that really negative thing, just catch yourself, snap out and be like, nope. No. We're not becoming that person. We're going to redirect, and we're going to go to a more positive way. And the fact that you caught yourself in that moment to switch the direction of energy, and you realize, oh, this behavior pattern is maybe very similar to this. I need to, reprogram this because it's obviously gone into my subconscious mind of just naturally behaving like this. I need to redirect and not to do that behavior, that habit. I'm not going to pass this on. I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to pass these behavioral patterns on and continue the cycle. No. So when you catch yourself, be very proud of yourself, because it's a moment of self-awareness. It's a moment that you've noticed that habit needs to change, and it can take, I think, like 30 to 60 days for a habit to change. So you got to constantly keep thinking of these habits. And when you get, once you've got no contact, you've got the space to create new habits. That's what I did. I created new habits. I wake up, I try and meditate. I every morning, even to this day, I will wake up and I will listen to affirmations. That's the first thing I do. I listen to affirmations. I put my headphones on. 20 minutes, I'll listen to affirmations. I put my incense on because we love a bit of incense. Don't know, it just shifts the mood. And then I just go about my day, and I try and speak as positively I can. I never really complain. I try not to do that at all. I try and be in gratitude as much as possible. Yes, there are more things that I want in life, but I try and be grateful. Remember to be grateful, because I remember this was a point where I just wanted to be living alone. And I remember just sitting there every day going, I would literally write it down, like, I'll have my own place. I'll get out of here. I used to think, and it's like, and I'm here. So I've got to be grateful that I'm here and I have that peace. And honestly, I wouldn't have got this peace if I didn't go no contact. If I never went no contact, I would have never got this level of peace. And so I want you guys to achieve this level of peace. And I truly believe the only way of doing this is going no contact. Literally going no contact. But understand, when you make the decision to go no contact, that there may be other people around you that you may have to detach from. And But I honestly think no contact is the only way. Based on my experience, my lived experience here, for me, it's been the only way that I've managed to get peace, even do these videos. I've wanted to do these videos so long. I've wanted to do it for so long. I didn't have the courage maybe to do it before. I didn't have the self belief before. I used to tell people I wanted to do it, they'd laugh at me, like, really? You too? And then you doubt yourself. And when you're around people that are just constantly negative and you believe them because they're your parents, you have a very low self-esteem. You are programmed to have that low self-worth, to doubt yourself, to not take risks, to not do things. And honestly, going no contact, I've managed to literally transform my mindset. Transform how I put myself out there with my peace, my energy. And I've been able to do these videos because I believe in myself, my story. I knew it was going to help people. I know it's going to help people because I needed someone to look at. I needed this. I needed a video like this so I didn't feel alone. And so I promised myself. I remember I wrote it down, like when I was living there. I was like, I might even have it in one of my, because I write like things in my journal thing, but I literally wrote like, I know it sounds really silly, but I was literally like, the universe, please, can you just get me into a place. I was like, just anywhere I can wake up in peace. And I was like, as soon as I get there, I promise you I will make videos because I know this is going to help others. And I said, I promise you, if you give me a place of peace, like, I will help others. And I'm not joking. I am not joking. I was literally crying. I was like, please, universe, just get me out of here. I was like, please. And I said, if you get me out of it, I promise you I'll make videos, like, just to help others. And here. And it's even taken me some time to get to this point to, like, before I wasn't making, if you look at my first content, I didn't go straight into talking about this because, I was a bit like, but I thought, no, it's time. I need to tell my story because I know others are going to relate. And you guys are here and you're relating. And so I appreciate you guys because the ones that really, truly get it will understand everything I'm saying in these videos. And, and even if you're someone that maybe hasn't come from a narcissistic family, but you're trying to help a friend. Like, I saw a comment the other day and they were like, I'm just trying to help my friend see it. And I was just like, that's beautiful. The fact that you're watching videos like this, trying to understand maybe someone else's journey through it, and you're trying to help your friend, or you're trying to help a spouse who's dealing with their narcissistic parents. How beautiful is that, And, just even listening to someone's journey, like my journey, maybe you'll get something from this, And you can understand maybe how they're feeling more, because maybe sometimes not everyone wants to put it into words, how they're feeling. So yeah. But the moral of the story is, I think, and I believe, no contact is the only way. And it's the only way you're going to get your peace. It's the only way I got my peace. It's the only way I got my peace. It's the only way I've had the courage to do things like this. Because I've created that self within that time of almost isolation, I guess. That time of self-reflection. And you realize how much time you will reclaim back for yourself and how much energy you will have back into yourself when you go no contact. You actually have too much time on your hands. You'll be like, what am I going to do? And that's the moment you delve into your hobbies. That's the moment you delve into your passions. There's the moments you go for it. There's the moments you create that peace. You don't give chaos to other people. You don't come across like a burdened, bitter person that's been through. No. Be that peaceful person for others. Be that peaceful person for yourself. And peace will naturally gravitate towards you. Good things will naturally gravitate towards you if you just think positive. Keep always thinking positive, And it will come around you. So yeah. Guys, I just want to say, please comment below if you've gone no contact. please comment below if you're in contact and you know you're a bit confused whether to make that decision, because the comments really help. They help me firstly, so thank you all for commenting, but they don't just help me, they help everyone else that comes to this channel, this community. It's like these comments are needed for us because it makes us know that it's interesting to see what other people's journeys have been through. We can relate. There's always a relatability. I'm looking at the comments and there's a theme here. There's something like always in comment, like that we can relate to someone else's journey, and it's just like, you know, doesn't matter what age, whatever, background, whatever we're from, that we are all related in a way that we have been through these kind of journeys. They may be different kind of journeys, but they have like a similar foundation to what we've experienced, and so they're really helpful. When we look at these comments, it's like, my people are here, you know, and I'm not alone. I'm not going crazy. I'm not, you know, I'm not like the bad person for going no contact and things like this. So, you know, and you're not a bad person for going no contact. Let me just tell you, if you want to go no contact, you are not a bad person, okay? You're a person that's decided this is your last resort and you want to choose peace. And once you go no contact, I really just would go no contact. And when I say no contact, you have to make the decision whether you're ready for that. And once you go, just go. Let it go. Thank you. You're my people. You're my community. I love you so much. You guys are encouraging me to keep making content. You guys seem to be relating to these videos and my journey. Sharing this is not easy for me all the time to be this vulnerable, you know, but I'm doing my best to share my journey. And along the way, I just hope that this is encouraging you guys to see, you know, become better and, you know, be on that path to peace and that journey to peace. And that's what we're here for. We're just trying to get our peace back and just get on with our lives. So I love you all. Bye guys, and subscribe if you want to. My community, please, my community, actually, my people, my community, please subscribe, because I don't want to lose you guys. I found you now and I don't want to lose you, so please subscribe, and we've got this together. Okay, bye guys.